You ask him what do you want to ask him, what is on your heart. So today the questions are not coming from me, they're coming directly from you. I'm just going to open the phone lines right now. 0302-211-6910, 0302-211-6910. It's all on you now. Give us a call and free your hearts. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama V. How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
We thank God. I'm also within grace.
We thank God.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've said that the questions are on those watching us today.
So you're not going to violate your own terms?
I am tempted. I'm tempted, and I can't resist usually.
This temptation is welcome.
But it's still related to the month of love.
Definitely.
I know that you've been places, you've heard stories, you've heard things. So what's been some of the things that you've heard, particularly in this month of February?
Well, thank you for the question. Let me start off with the singles.
Okay.
People who have been terribly disappointed by supposed lovers.
Okay.
And that is not a new phenomenon though, but in the month of February, it's been noted that a lot of people enter into love. And equally, you have a number of people also falling out of love. Now, in the Western world, it is said that it's also the month where you have a lot of divorces.
Oh.
Yes. Now, so for the singles, people have become so disenchanted with the whole phenomenon of love and now realize that it's not an event, but it's a real process that you grow and nurture and then put in the necessary defenses and protections so that it doesn't get distracted or disturbed by third parties. And then also the issue of infidelity amongst would-be couples.
Okay.
People who are hoping to consummate a union, then you discover that that significant person is already cheating before you say, go. And they are in a dilemma as to whether to give them a second chance or to call it off.
What would you say? Because I have a rule. If you did that to me, I would just walk.
Well, the general rule is if this is what is going to come, you've got to take a decision. And the decision will be you look at if I persist, will this person change for real? Or they are not going to change. It's a risk you take. But one ought to be careful not to become overly high-handed. Because there are individuals who may have gone through that as a one-off activity and would not be a persistent lifestyle. There are others who are set in their ways and are not willing to change.
So if you're coaching me and I took such a decision, would you let me bear the consequence of that decision? Would you let me be?
Well, one of the things I would draw your attention to is that choices have consequences. And so if you make a choice to continue, it has consequences. If you make a choice to discontinue, it equally has consequences.
Okay.
So there's a need for us as counselors, we don't take decisions for anybody. We help you in the process of decision making. So what I think doesn't matter is really your situation, your realities, and your capacity to live with a particular choice in a reality, which is the case. So I will look more at you, not at me, which oftentimes those who prefer advice, it's on their strength and what their views are, not necessarily giving attention to your unique circumstance and strength.
Okay, enough of me now. Let's go to the phone lines. Francis is calling from McCarthy Hill. Francis, good morning to you. I hope you're well.
Yeah, good morning, Mavi. I'm very well, and you?
I am good. We thank God. So what's on your mind? What would you want to share?
You look very beautiful this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to find out from Mr. Annan. I'm married, and then sometimes I try my very best to make sure I don't have any personal issue with my wife. But then the more I try, the more I face more challenges. And I've done my very best actually to make sure you have peace in this our marriage. But it's been very difficult for me. You're married for 8 years now. You have 3 kids, and there's always an issue here tomorrow, today. I don't know. Seriously, I don't have a mentor. I don't have someone that I have people that I look up to do, but I find it difficult approaching people to tell them my problem in the problem I have in my marriage. And I don't know. Seriously, I don't know
Francis,
what to do.
do I take it that you are careful around your wife? You're careful not to offend her?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm doing.
It means that you're not entirely yourself.
No, not really. But you see, she's a very emotional person. Okay.
Okay.
And the little thing that you do against her, she'll be crying. Okay. And then she'll be calling her parents to tell them that my husband done this to me and whatever. So, and I want to avoid those things.
Okay.
I want to avoid it. So I'm very careful, very, very careful not to hurt her. But the more I try to be careful, the more I hurt her.
Okay. All right. Francis, two things would happen. First will be you holding on for a contact. But otherwise, first will be you holding on and giving your number. I'm going to take it personally and I'm going to forward Mr. Kevin-Annan's number to you because I know him. He's not going to tell you everything that he will share with you here on the show. So please give your contact just before you hang up and let's hear what he has to say.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Francis, for sharing your concern.
I should stop saying the things I say.
No, you don't have to worry about that. Now, I think that there's a need for Francis to pause and ask himself a question.
Okay.
What does my wife often complain about?
What does my wife often complain about?
What's her frequent fear? Because you see, what the woman harps upon is her greatest concern. Now, sometimes it's as though we are listening, but we are not hearing what they're saying. And he rightly said that she's emotional. And for many of us males, we tend not to be that emotionally connected. And so we have to train ourselves to be emotionally connected. Otherwise, we only enjoy the companionship of company, which is not necessarily what many women want. They want you to connect at the deepest level, which is at the heart level, at the emotional level. And there's a need for him to also look at, it could be that his personality may be choleric. I don't know. But if he's choleric, I'm not surprised what is happening to him. And he should understand that the more careful you are, the less successful you will be.
Yeah, it's true. Let's speak to Malik. Malik is calling from Bolga. Malik, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you, Malik?
I'm doing good.
We thank God. Let's
and
hear
I like
you.
your outfit.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's hear you.
My problem that happened to me, anytime I see my wife's ex, I get offended.
Anytime you see her ex?
Yes.
Okay.
When I come home, I don't find it easy with my wife. And when we're dating, hello?
Yeah, hi. Malik, we can hear you. We're with you.
Yeah, so when we're dating, she has been honest to tell me this is the guy she was going out with. And anytime I go out my round and it happens, I meet him elsewhere. When I come home, I attack my wife. I try to stay away from this. I don't know.
Is it, did she share details of that relationship with you when you got together?
And I knew the guy who was dating her before I went in for her.
Okay. So what is it about him? When you meet, do you exchange any words? Do you say hello?
No. I am far better, times 10 better than him.
Okay. Have you asked yourself, is it insecurity perhaps?
Nothing. He can't do me. I'm saying that I am far better than him in terms of anything you can think of in this world. In education, in anything you can think of.
Okay.
I'm far better. But the moment I see him, I don't know.
Forgive me for the questions that I'm asking you, and I'm going to ask you too. They may sound a bit offensive. Do you feel that perhaps your wife still likes him or something of the sort?
No, at all.
Okay. All right. Malik, kindly leave your contacts. I'm going to take it and
Can I ask him a question?
Get back to Yes. Malik, just hold on. Don't hang up yet.
Hi, Malik. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did they have a longer relationship than you have been married?
No.
Okay.
They met not quite long.
Okay. And how long have you been married?
Oh, for about 6 to 7 years.
6 to 7 years. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Malik, kindly leave your contacts. I'm going to get in touch with you and forward Mr. Kevin-Annan's contact to you so you can speak afterwards. Okay, so you two can give us a call. Today, it is not about me. It's all about you. I'm loaning Amos Kevin-Annan. Maybe you should pick the calls and say hello to them. To you, anything that's on your mind, anything that's been bothering you, you can give us a call and then, share it. 0302-211-69-102 right here. We'll speak to Isaac. Isaac is joining us from Laura. Hello, Isaac. Good morning. Isaac, good morning.
Good morning.
Isaac, are you okay?
I'm okay.
All right. Kindly speak up a bit for me. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I've been following the program. Even the other day, his line and call it side. Yeah, this is my problem and problem was I was with a lady we did with. Then we suddenly stopped. The case leads social welfare to court. Then because of the child. As I now remarried to a different man with a child, I tried to get the child in Missouri. As I know, the court was not able to rule out anything. Then my father, but because of the family will come and attack, then the court was giving thing that we should make them arrest them and then come to pass the difference. My father just went and stopped the whole thing. As I know, I'm just trying how to even get. I'm even afraid to go and see that child because of the new husband. He has easier to be also behave. So now, that's my blood. I'm always how to take that child to people. It's just a trauma. And I'm afraid this child can get us to do anything or anything. So they don't know they will need our follow.
Isaac, a few questions. The child still carries your name, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you pay any monies every month? As in, are you taking care of the child? You're paying school fees and food?
No, what happened? The when my father went. Hello?
Yes. Hi, we can hear you.
Hello?
Isaac, you're on. Please go ahead.
Yes. Why I'm not doing so? Because the court said, then when my father went and said we should stop, because they told me that either school fees or feeding or anything, because through the procedure, the father of the lady told us that he can take care of the child. So when we went for the shopping, they told us that then if they come with school fees or any health issue or anything, if I can help my child, I'll help. But if I don't want, I shouldn't help. He should take the responsibility for everything. So the man was saying he would take it. It was even the day they told me that I can choose the school for them, but my father just said he's not more interested in anything.
Okay. All right. So what would you want our coach to help you with?
Sometimes when I sleep, I dream about his life. He's not enjoying life or he's suffering. Sometimes I just dream about the child. Think that the child's life will not be any different. That is one thing.
So you want a relationship with your child?
Yes.
But you don't know how?
I don't know how the child is there.
Okay. All right.
Saving me. I'm very protective.
Okay. All right, Isaac. Thank you very much, Isaac from Lara. But what we'll do at the close of this conversation is also to give Mr. Amos Kevin-Annan's contact out. If you'd like to talk to him after the show, you can later in the day.
Well, I mean, his dream of the child suffering may be real or not real.
Okay.
Now, the more that festers, the more disturbed he's going to be. Now, to have a connection with your child, if you cannot broker that relationship, you can look for mediators to mediate on your behalf. And this is where the people should have that favor and goodwill extended to them by the lady's family. And given the particular sociocultural setting he finds himself, those are very important decisions to be made.
Okay.
It's really based on the magnanimity of the lady's family.
Okay.
And you'll be helpless.
Yeah.
So what he needs to do is to begin to redirect his energy and attention to other things. That is not to say that you ignore the reality that you have a child.
Okay. Let's speak to Dennis. Dennis is joining us from WA. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing good by His grace.
We thank God.
Out of you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing well. Let's hear you.
Yeah, please. I want to say good morning to Uncle.
Yes, good morning, Dennis.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying the program.
Thank you. Dennis, what's on your heart? What would you like to share?
Oh, what I have to ask Uncle is that, or to clarify from Uncle is that I just want to, I have an ex that often, almost every time she wants to be with me, but currently I'm not married, but I'm dating seriously with a certain lady.
Hello, Dennis?
Yeah, hello.
Okay. So you have a girlfriend, but your ex is still in the picture. Do you like her?
Oh, really? We have broke up for a number of years, about 3 to 4 years now.
Okay. So what does she still want with you?
According to her, that she can't go with any man apart from me.
Okay.
And I'm saying I'm done with you.
So she wants a comeback?
Yes, really.
But you don't like her any longer?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. So
I want to find out from Uncle if maybe, I don't know, the last time I called him, he said he was driving. But we couldn't meet again. We couldn't talk again. So I don't know the time I should call him.
Okay.
I really want him to clarify some things for me.
Okay. All right. Okay, Dennis.
All right, Dennis.
When is a good time to call you?
Oh, after 11 today, that'll be fine.
After 11 a.m. Okay. All right.
11 a.m.
Yes, please. 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the back of that, thank you, Dennis, for your call.
Well, this issue of exes.
This has nothing to do. How do you get rid of your ex?
No, you see, once they are out, they should be out.
Okay.
You can be friendly towards them, but don't make them your friend. There are two different scenarios. You can be friendly towards them, show respect, show, all the courtesies. When you see them, you can
say hello, hi.
Exactly. They are not your enemies, but they are also not your friend.
So
but you are friendly towards them. Some make the mistake of checking on their social media handles to see what's the latest about them.
Yeah.
And that gives you a certain disturbing condition. You are worried about them.
Have I told you before?
No,
to
you
check
haven't.
If he's moved on, if there's a new girl.
Why do you have to check?
If there's a new girl, is she better than me?
You see,
does she look nicer?
In his particular situation, he says he's seriously attached.
Yes.
Now, what you do is that you're going to eventually sacrifice this person for them, especially when they begin to pull the strings. And then you are having some challenges with the current one you are seriously attached. So there's going to be a fallback plan. And so you need to, a lot of the folks who keep their exes in their lives is what they call the just in case factor. In case anything happens. The devil you know is better than an angel you are getting to know or you don't even know. But that is not good. If they've been buried, let's keep them in the grave. Don't give them resurrection power. Unfortunately, for some people, the individuals are dead. They've been buried, and they go ask for resurrection power to resurrect them by calling them to check. How are you doing? I'll just checking on you. What's your business? They feel guilty for the truncation of the process. Now, if it was not to be, it will not be. So there's a need for you to be careful not to allow your EX factor to begin to teleguide you and to dominate your relationships. They are not your enemy, let me say it again, but they are also not your friend. But you can be friendly towards them.
Your ex cannot be your best friend.
No, it shouldn't be. Because you see, whoever is in a relationship with you now can have issues. Like Francis, who gets agitated anytime he saw the ex of his wife.
Okay, that wasn't Francis. I'm not sure. That was Isaac.
Was it Isaac?
Isaac.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can see, why is he disturbed?
Is it Malik? Okay.
Was Malik? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Malik. Yeah, from Bolga.
Yeah.
Yes. Why would he be disturbed? Because his memory sends him down an aisle he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Then besides that also, you could sense a certain spite of the ex, because I'm better than him. I'm more deserving of her than him.
Oh.
So it's easy to disparage this individual and think that they are of a lower class and you are of a higher class, which does happen sometimes. And that gives you further reason to be agitated.
Okay. Let me speak to Osman, and then I'll tell you something that I think women feel. Osman in Boko, thank you for holding. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead. Hello, Osman? Hello, Osman.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Osman.
morning.
We can hear you. Can you hear me, please?
My problem is this. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Osman.
Hello.
Yes, Osman, we can hear you.
Osman, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Nice. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying I also have a problem with my relationship. And yes, I said I'm having a problem, and I also want to share with you.
Please go ahead. Osman, do you have your radio set on? Maybe the sounds are disturbing. So
Okay.
please turn down the volume on that television set and then hear us through the phone. Okay, yeah, it's better. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I'm saying my problem is this, and I want to share with you.
Please do.
Yeah, my wife, we are together all right, and then I provide the necessary things that she wants. But sometimes the little problem I have, if I happen not to have let's say, some financial problem, a little, and I couldn't even provide maybe within just a day, she gets upset and then say certain things as if what I've been doing previously has not even, I've never done something to her. And in fact, and more to the point, sometimes if I return from work and she sometimes portrays some kind of attitude as if we have quarreled before I left to work or something like that. And I'm somebody who likes somebody who is jovial and then those kind of things. But in fact, that's just something that is worrying me. And I don't know what to do about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Osman, thank you very much for the call. Mr. Kevin-Annan will attempt something.
Well, when you are providing and there are difficulties for which you are unable to provide, I think it's better to communicate your difficulty in providing what is the usual, because it will certainly be expected. When it is that there's no communication, the expectations will be higher, which would then create difficulty for the relationship. And so you come and you see her, your wife is living in the present. She's not living in yesterday. You are hoping she'll go to yesterday and remember that there have been good times.
Yeah.
Yes, good times she would acknowledge, but I live in a current reality. How do we deal with the current reality? And that is the gravamen of the issue. And so Osman will need to communicate and communicate and communicate and communicate again. Clarify issues and ensure that her assumptions, her expectations can be properly managed. Otherwise, you would have this disturbing trend.
Okay.
So eventually, now it will get to a time you close from work, you don't want to go home. You hang around, as has become the habit of some men now.
Because of fear of how
Fear
you're
of being
received
confronted.
when you
Yes.
when you get
yeah.
home.
You get home and your wife is already firing on all cylinders. She's going to go bonkers and ballistic.
Yeah.
You won't want that.
Is this thing about men that sometimes you feel that when something has happened in the morning and you go off to work, when you come back, everything should be fine?
Oh, yeah. I mean, some men, like he says, he's the jovial type. So it means that he can take a very casual look at these things. And I won't be surprised if the wife is not the jovial type, and hence these issues. Because if the wife was a jovial type and he's the jovial type, they could use jokes to deal with the situation. But here, one is serious, the other is jovial. And you can't joke with a serious individual.
Yeah.
I mean, they're serious. Everything about them is serious.
Do you get a sense that women would like to resolve things and then move on?
I would say that women tend to want to deal with the small issues all through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we agree that women are not homogeneous. They are heterogeneous. So you may have some women who may even gloss over it and let it be.
Okay.
But the large population of women would always want to ensure that the I's have been dotted, the T's have been crossed before we move to the next stage.
That sounds like me. It's like, why are you pretending nothing happened in the morning?
Well,
let's deal with it.
If you live in the our world, you will discover that those men are actually not pretending. But it's a mindset they have taken to allow sleeping dogs to lie.
Okay.
So that we move on. Because, you know, when a man has an issue, the large chunk of men would rather want to process it. They are like the processor of their computer. They want to process it rather than just churn out, like a screen will just churn out the data. No. Women want to churn it out because when they churn it out, they have a better psychological situation.
Yeah.
Whereas the men, they want to brood over it because see, men have this conquest instinct. They want to overcome. They want to conquer. They are activity driven. So if they are seen as not achieving in that area, they feel defeated. And that drives a nail right down into their ego.
Yeah.
And that's an area you don't want to go. And so there's a need for the women who are aligning and associating with men to understand that you need to try and take a journey into the man's reality by empathizing with his situation so you can connect with them. So must men also journey. Like he said that when the wife uses tears. Why are men recently becoming averse to tears? Because tears have been used as manipulative tools by some women. The little so he's become overly familiar with your
emotional
tears
blackmail,
now.
I call it.
He will tell you, don't cry, don't shed tears. Let's talk.
Okay.
Talk. Give me the facts.
Okay.
Give me. He needs a logical sequence to be able to make conclusive decisions. But the woman is shedding tears, hoping that the tears will do the trick. But now the guys are becoming allergic to the tears. And you see, and also the other one is the attention. You notice that a lot of males now are becoming a little laid back when a woman is giving him attention because he's been there before. He's heard it before. He's become aware that now when she's giving attention, it means that the next thing is there's going to be a request. So the moment you start that trajectory, they
okay,
also
what do you
move
want?
up.
Tell me.
Exactly. They will just stop you in your track. Okay, I know, I've seen this before. Okay, we've been here before. Tell me, what is it?
So we've become predictable.
Predictable. We are predicting each other. But if it's for good, it's good.
Yeah.
But if we predict each other so we become cynical and sarcastic and demean and ignore each other, then that is not healthy.
Okay. So not based on any empirical evidence, but I know that not too long ago when you activate phone lines, for instance, you have a lot of female calling.
Yeah.
And today in particular, we've had
male dominated.
Yeah, exactly. What's happening? That not a greater number, but can you base on that and give me something?
It's not an exception because now many more men are willing to talk.
Okay.
They are willing to share their issues.
Okay.
So the era where if you're a man, your masculinity is tied to your capacity to withhold your tears and not shed tears, don't show emotions. Now, a lot more men are becoming very vocal on the issues because they realize that they are also being treated as though they are less human. And so they also want to show their human side by first verbalizing their issues rather than internalizing them, and then it becomes aggression.
Okay.
So they will use it that way. And it's a commendable step. We need to encourage more of those. And I hope that they do so honestly with the hope that they get help. Because sometimes you share it so that you find a convenient reason to excuse yourself. But if it is being shared so that you add on qualitatively and improve upon the relationship, which I hope and I see many men seeking for today, there's a need to encourage more of that. And the women should develop a greater skill in conversations. That's very important. Women naturally are conversational people, but they should develop a new skill to converse with men.
Okay.
And to deal with men in a conversation, you need to be a little more structured. It should not be that informal way of drawing men into a conversation.
Okay, please give me something like teach
For instance,
me.
For instance, you want to talk to the man about something that is dear to you. You find him watching his sports. You don't interject. Okay. You can sit with him and watch the sports. During the break, where they have the rest time, you can then have a conversation with him.
Okay.
On your matter. So in this case, you have deliberately structured the conversation pattern. So you drop it and hope you get a response. But you don't drop it and immediately expect him to give you a response.
Okay.
You see, for women, you can multitask. You're watching, you're cooking, you are feeding a child, you are also doing an assignment on the laptop. For a man, he wants to complete one task, so his whole life is caged and structured. And you need to relate with him in that dimension. Otherwise, you're always going to cause his displeasure.
Yeah.
And you agitate him. The slightest thing you do, he's angry with you because he does not have the same frame of reference as you do.
Okay. So, you know, I like the fact that men are willing to talk now.
It's
but
helpful.
who do they talk to? Who do they talk to?
Oftentimes, the boys.
Which is not always good.
Yeah.
Because boys can say, okay, instead of go home to that woman again,
go and find an
come with
alternative.
me? It's a Friday.
Yeah. People are outsourcing. You know, companies are outsourcing security, busing, janitorial services, and all those things. The sad reality, however, now is that a lot of people also outsourcing emotional needs, outsourcing sexual pleasure, outsourcing conversation, outsourcing financial well-being. And so there's a need for each one of us to go back and review
what you're outsourcing. If the things you're outsourcing potentially will derail you from your significant individual, then you've got to stem that tide. Okay.
And don't let the flow go and just swim along and say, well, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is terribly weak. Because you can find a convenient excuse in that, which should not be. Let's encourage more men to talk. And especially when they start doing that at a younger age. When they grow with it. So that it would also reduce the level of emotional disturbance that men have and the psychological problems they go through. Easily driven to suicidal tendencies and stuff like that. And then aggressive behavior, because the thing has been overwhelming in them.
Yeah.
Now they have a place now to vent it. And once you can vent it out, the less disturbing situation you're going to have internally. Because and then the other thing is that some people also have their own internal conflicts, especially conflict around their values, conflict around their dreams, aspirations. You wanted to be this, you haven't become. That can set a whole chain of frustration. And that then translates into how you relate to other people, especially the women in your life.
Okay, let's speak to Albert. Albert is joining us from Kumasi. Good morning, Albert.
Good morning.
Yes, Albert. I hope you're good.
Amavi, I'm good, and you too.
I am very well, thank you. Let's hear you.
Good. You look like a counselor yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you. But I am nowhere near that.
Oh, yeah. I am a bit concerned. I don't have a particular problem this morning, but I'm a bit concerned about Malik's issue because looking at how he's talking, it looks like it's something that he's been going through for quite a long time, because you asked him how long he's been married, and it's about 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
I also want to say good morning to my brother, Amos, and
Councillor Albert.
Yeah.
Now I've seen you.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that don't you also think that there is something, I think it's the ex or the wife's ex is having that he is rather not having. Maybe it could be the career, it could be anything. I think something that psychologically he is rather feeling like some low self-esteem so far as
insecurity
is concerned. Insecurity, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that he thinks that the way, maybe the wife might not be communicating with him again, but he thinks that the way the wife is so committed to anybody, he says, this is my wife. Sorry, this is my husband, or this is the person I'm moving with. He thinks that looking at how maybe the other ex is, it's possible that if I'm to lose my wife again, definitely I'm going to lose her to this person. So I think that, like my brother said, I think it's just sense of insecurity, because I felt for him the way he was talking, and I think that something can probably be done. And I'm happy you took his number, and I think that we have to maybe go a little bit deeper into his issue. But finally, with what my brother said, like how men and women are, I think that when you are dealing with, like the last caller, with the sequential spouse and then the random spouse, the sequential ones are more like following things in order, and the random ones can do things in all at any time. But I think that in all, each character traits are very important, because sometimes you need spouses that will be able to take risk, to do certain things, and also the other ones who will be able to guide as to how things are supposed to be. So I will say thank you, God bless you for what you are doing, and I believe that Malik issue can be held out.
All right. Thank you very much, Albert. Now,
we'll keep
you
in
sound
touch,
like
Albert.
a counselor.
He's
Thanks
a counselor.
He is a counselor. Okay, thanks a lot for your call. Let's speak to Osu. Osu is in Boko. Good morning, Osu. Thank you for holding.
Good morning. Good morning, Mama V.
Yes, sir. I'm very well, thank you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I have an issue with my wife. She's in down south, and I'm here in Boko.
Okay.
And ever since I was over there, the work was going on well. When I came back here and this was not moving, we started having some problems. And what terrifies me is that anytime I'm speaking with her on phone, there's something like angered her. She will hang up the phone on me at her own time. And the time she wants, she'll come back to me again and give me a call. And if I also refuse speaking, then it becomes a problem. Recently, my daughter was in health. They sent her to the hospital. They informed me. And I sent you some money to take care of her. She just called me and said, top up this amount. Then I just asked her a simple question. The money I gave it to you, what did you use it for? The response was that it's either you give me the money or you leave. Then I was trying to ask her, oh, the way you are speaking to me, then she hung up the phone. And the mom is backing her, the brothers all are backing her. They don't want to hear the side of my story. And now it's creating very big problems. So I've started to leave her there. And anytime I didn't see her call now, I became very angry with myself. I don't even want her to call me.
Okay. Also, just take it easy. You sound like you're giving up already, but please don't. How long have you been married?
I've been with her almost 5 years. We have 2 children. So because of that, I've gone to bring the first child, and I'm staying with him, and she's with the second one.
Okay. But it's work that's keeping you away, right? Are you coming back to join her in anytime soon?
I said, I don't even want to see her face again.
Okay. Now, you sound like you actually need a private conversation with
Yeah,
her.
also, I think that you need help as urgently as you can, because the little that has come across in this conversation, even though we don't see your face, so we can't see all the emotional underpinnings. it clearly shows that there's a problem. Now, it could well be that your wife is frustrated also, and she doesn't know how to handle the situation because she's overwhelmed. For a wife to hang a phone on the spouse means a lot. That's the symptom. If you look at that, you create more problem.
Okay.
Look for what are the factors that are informing her actions. Otherwise, you'll be chasing after shadows.
Okay.
But please get someone who can assist you, vent out all your concerns, and then who can mediate between you and your spouse. And then also ensure that when there are holidays like the one coming soon,
The super much.
make time to be with your family. It's so important. You're winning at work, but you may lose at love.
Sure. Okay, and we're gonna share your contact number. So Owusu, if there's anybody, if there's nobody around you that you can talk to, you can always speak to Amos, Kevin-Annan. So stay on. We're going to share the contacts and you can take it. Dela is in Koko. Dela, good morning to you. Thank you. You've been holding for a while. Thank you.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity.
Sure. Let's hear you.
I would like.
Hello, Dela.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's hear you. Please go ahead.
I would like to ask the counselor if it's wrong to still keep in touch with your ex. I would like
Your
to
question
ask
is
the
it wrong to still keep in touch with your ex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Though I'm dating, sometimes I do miss my ex because of how she treated me.
Okay. Okay, so so you get in touch with her, what's the extent?
Oh, like the normal conversation, how I'm checking on you. I mean, how are you doing and all that. We still do talk a lot.
Okay.
We talk.
Has she moved on?
I don't know, but probably maybe because of the communication that I'm having currently in my relationship.
Okay.
It's a communication.
But,
because,
yeah. No, just, has she moved on? Is she seeing somebody else?
The last time I asked, I mean, she told me she was dating, but I know they see it serious.
Okay.
Though.
All right. Okay, so Dela, has your girlfriend complained about her? About you keeping in touch with your ex?
The truth is,
she doesn't know. Does she know? Does she know, Dela?
She doesn't know.
Exactly. It's on her blind side.
She doesn't.
So she won't complain because on her blind side. But you mentioned communication gap you're experiencing. From where?
Like, she's busy now. Always busy. So
the person you are in a relationship with is busy.
Yeah, that's what she gives me. So sometimes I even enjoy, like I have like ladies friends checking on me, asking me how was my day at work and stuff like that. But for her, it's like, how are you? And just, I mean, I'm busy.
It's dry. It's dry.
I want to sleep or
you want something spiceful.
Yeah.
Okay, Dela.
Yeah.
You see, you may call the conversation with your ex normal, but it's not normal in the sense that it's self-serving. It's serving your interest. And that is fatal. Because as long as that persists, there's no way you're going to enjoy a communion with whoever you have right now in your life. And that's often what happens to many people.
Yeah.
And so even though you claim you have detached, you have actually not detached.
Okay, so Dela, I mean, silly me. Why don't you just get together with your ex and move on with her?
But she's in a relationship,
you kind of like her.
Mama V.
But Dela is not seeing top for her.
If you're not seeing top, sit down. And to sit down simply means that reality has come. Yeah. The reality is that you told her you have moved on. You see, sometimes people want a communication to be such that it's an endless one. It's as though you don't have any other life. Dela needs to find life. That's why I always say to young people who are at the prenuptial stage, you first must find life before you look for relationship. But when you have not really grasped your essence as a being, why you are here, what potential you have, what objectives you're seeking to achieve, and who can be with you on that journey. You go into a relationship and it becomes your world. It becomes all you have. And so people give everything they have just for a relationship. And when they're losing those relationships, it's as though their world has come tumbling down.
Let's speak to Alidu, and Alidu will be the last person that we speak to over the telephone. Alidu is in Sisala West. Good morning to you, and I appreciate you holding. You've been on for a while, Alidu. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Alidu.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm calling from the Sisala West.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. My little problem is that you are married to a woman, and the mother still wants the lady to be doing maybe her normal businesses with her and the brothers, leaving you alone. So with this issue to how would one handle it? You also feel that now the woman is now in a nuclear family. Like you are now with her, you are living as a nuclear family, are they as a family? And now the mother still wants the woman to be doing businesses with the brothers and her, leaving you standing alone. So
Okay.
that's not true.
All right, Alidu, thank you very much for the call.
Well, Alidu must realize that you live in a communal setting. The setting you find yourself is very communal, where you engage as communities. And so keep in mind that we marry into families. And when you say somebody is your mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, it is that they are your relative by marriage. So you need to now find creative ways of becoming friendly towards your in-laws. Otherwise, you see them as competing with you for your wife, which sounds like what you're experiencing right now. You want to have your wife, but you see, to what end would it serve you if you had a wife who lost her family? It's a very dangerous situation for an individual.
Should he get involved in the business as well?
You need to warm yourself into their space as well and be friendly towards them. Don't see them as a threat to your marriage. Otherwise, before you realize, your wife will be fighting you, because some operate on the mindset that says blood is thicker than water. Okay, and the blood here will represent their family ties and the genealogy, people in that stream. And you be the water. You are lighter. They are more viscous in their nature. So there's a need for you to talk with your wife, get her to appreciate the importance of building this union together. It's a partnership. But you don't do that sacrificing her family. Because for all you know, you may be very close to your family and she hasn't raised a whimper, which oftentimes happens. But we get disturbed because she's too close. And then you also must look at the nature of family that they have. Is she the first daughter or the only child or the last born? These have implications for spouses. Because if it is that she's the breadwinner of the home, for instance, and she's running a business and the brothers are in partnership with her, the family sees her as the conduit through which their sustainability can be assured. Now, the moment you touch that, it's a raw nerve. It's a live wire. It will burn you. You'll be electrocuted. So you are better off when it is that you warm yourself, develop a relationship. And this is to all who are yet to be married. The days where you stood behind the wall and whispered for the lady to traverse the wall or come through the gate and come and see you should be something you pay attention to. Walk boldly to the house. Engage the dad, the mom, the brothers, sisters. Proud to marriage. So that when you marry, they don't become rivals to you. It's happening to too many people, and it's needless and avoidable.
Sure. Wow. This has been intense.
It has been.
Yeah.
But there's a record here. 9 males straight.
Yeah, and even that, we had to pause and hold on to the pause because I still had the phone.
I am amazed. And I think it's encouraging to see how men now are calling. Because many of the time, is the women who are quick to call.
Yeah.
Is it because the women are busy doing some things? Or they are listening and paying attention to what the men are going to be saying? Whatever it is, I think this is encouraging to see men vent out their issues and are willing to talk boldly and honestly about the issues.
How's your program coming up?
Well, we are still in the last leg, and we closed registration yesterday, but we have had to open it through the weekend.
Okay.
And so we will terminate registration on Monday. It's still at the Forest Hotel, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
We're getting closer.
Closer, yes. The next day is a holiday. You can cool off wherever you want with your significant one or with your family. Now, what we are having right now is a challenge where people want to come with their children.
Okay, because there's nobody to take care of them.
Nobody to take care of them. So we are conceding for some people to bring their children, especially those who are not up to 3 years.
Okay.
They can be easily handled. We'll find someone to cater for them whilst you are in the sessions. And at break, you have to go and fend for them and all that. So if you want to be part, it will be a good opportunity for you. Those who are having times that are difficult, you just come, you meet some individuals who can provide you specialized care and attention. And we're going to run some diagnostic tools on how to assess whether you are meeting your emotional needs as spouses. We're going to do a test that will help you to assess your performance in the bedroom as well. The bedmatics, we need to, because we're hoping to cure bedroom boredom.
Oh, gosh.
Now, the issue of communication, men and women, and conflict management, Dr. John Boache is coming to handle that effectively. Then Dr. Hobson will look at the sex therapy aspect, and that's on Friday. You don't want to miss that, because that's we call it the intro to the big deal.
Yeah.
On Friday.
No wonder it's at the very beginning.
It's at the beginning.
So you can rehearse
It's an
throughout.
initiation rite. It's a passage rite. You have to pass that litmus test of Friday. So he's going to do a very good exercise. It's a 2-hour session.
Okay.
And that starts after dinner. But check-in in the hotel is open from 1 p.m.
Okay.
For people who want to leave the office after lunch and then go and cool off till we come. All of us will be there, and we have dinner together. Thereafter, Dr. Hobson will take over and deal with the issues of. And then Mrs. Florasaki is coming to discuss the issue of the significance of the ring.
Oh, okay.
What is the value of your ring? For some people, Frankie's ice cream will take their ring. For others, papaya, a plate of papaya. For others, is a mobile phone. For others, Accra, London, Accra.
Yeah.
Whatever the value of your ring. iPhone, oh, the latest toys in our system. And then Dr. Joyce, I will pass through, but Adeline Mensah, Mrs. Adeline Mensah will be speaking to the men on how to handle their wives.
Okay.
Adeline Mensah is a very good friend of mine. She's the head counselor for Agape House.
Okay.
And she'll be there. And then KBBA from Massachusetts, he runs a program called Somimuye.
Hey.
And he's also going to have a conversation with the women on how to handle their men.
Okay.
My wife and I are going to run some diagnosis on reflections. We're going to do a lot of those reflections. Why you chose your wife, why you chose your husband, 5 things you don't like about them, and many others.
Okay.
Then Michael Mensah and Abigail will come and do trust games. And this is games for husbands and wives to build the momentum. And then on Saturday, our special feature where we'll go to Akosombo by bus from Dodowa. I will leave as early as 5:30. By 6, we're there. We take a 400-meter casual walk, locked arms across that dummy bridge, barefooted, do a few aerobics on the span, and then come back to our hotel for the sessions. So it promises to be a good time. And we are trusting God that those who participate will tremendously have an investment in their marriages for a lifetime.
Sure.
To participate, you need to either call or send your email or your name to us on 0244 273368. 0244 273368. It's called Creative couples conclave. We hope that you leave with decisions born out of creativity.
Is this the same number that, on a normal Friday conversation?
No,
people
on
can
Friday
call you
conversations, if you want to call, you have to use 020-936-9199. For those who have issues and you want us to discuss, don't call the 0244.
Okay.
That's exclusive for the Creative Couples event. So if you have an issue, it's 020-936-9199. No long conversation, though, because
no long
others will be on the line.
No long things.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm personally going to give you the number. Francis from McCarthy Hill. I'm interested in what you shared with us, so I'm going to forward the number to you.
But those to call the 020 should do so after 11.
After 11 a.m. today. Okay. Thank you very much. And I hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed him and you've loved our conversations in this month of February. Thank you very much, Mr. Amos.
It's an honor always.
Yeah.
Today you got an overwhelming affirmation from them. They always saw Mama V, you are looking nice. Not the men. We never look nice. Hey, forgive.
Yeah. I love it here.
Nice
I love it here.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Are you saying the same too?
No, you look nice.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Hey.
Okay, so all the best on Adom FM.
Thank you.
Because you're going to Adom FM.
Yes, I'm heading.